Hi everybody, welcome back to the shed. As you can see, I have two blown headlight bulbs, which is odd. I knew one had blown. It wasn't until I set the camera up and went to video it that I realised that they both had. I don't know if blown headlight bulbs are going to be a recurring theme with this bike, but we'll find out, no doubt. Okay. One of the main reasons why I actually want to do this video is there's a Facebook group I follow. All about the VFR, and I've noticed a recurring theme with people asking how to change headlight bulbs. Now, some of the answers that they were getting were things like, "Oh, take it to Halfords and pay a £5." Now, that's not really the kind of advice you expect on a Facebook group like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how you do it. It really isn't that difficult. And certainly not worth spending a £5 on when you could quite easily achieve this at home. So what we're going to do, I'm going to change the dip beam bulb, which lives inside this housing down here, there's underneath behind that rig rubber ring. And I'm going to, for the purpose of the video, even though there's nothing wrong with the bulb, I'm going to show how to get into the main beam bulb as well. Okay, so what we're looking at here is getting in behind here. Now this plug is the one for the dipped beam, so what we need to do first is simply pull the plug off. Like so, and you can see the terminals. Next, we've got to remove this rubber O-ring. This rubber O-ring is just a weatherproof membrane to keep the rain out from the back of the bulb. And there is a little, I don't know if you can quite make it out on the video, there is a little tang it's in about the 1 o'clock position at the moment. If you pull on that little tang, you'll pull it out. As you can see, it's started to move out. Once it's coming, you can literally just pull it completely off the bike. It basically just sits in a little lip around the outside of the bulb housing. It is a bit tight though, so just give it a good yank. I've actually got it caught behind. It's caught behind the wiring loom at the moment, but come on. And there we are, that's it out. Put that to one side. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to release the bulb from the housing. There's like a wire frame that goes over the top of it. Hopefully you can make that out. It's like a wire frame that goes into a little silver box just to the right of the bulb. What you've got to do is you've got to put pressure on that wire frame and then push it down slightly to unhook it from that little silver box. Hopefully I can get it done and you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Push it down like so, and as you can see, it's released, and then you can swing it out the way, and then the bulb's out, just like that. Right, now what these are H7 bulbs. This black bit here is not a part of the bulb. That's like an adapter for the loom. So what you need to do is pull the bulb off the adapter, and then we'll have a look at putting the new ones in. As you can see, I don't know, hopefully you can make out the filament in that is actually broken. There's a broken filament inside, and it's a little bit, the glass is a little bit smoked. So yeah, it's definitely a blown bulb. Hopefully I haven't got a regulator or rectifier problem. I may have to just do a video on testing the reg rec. Hopefully it's okay, but I do have a spare one anyway. It's always good to keep a spare reg rec. So yeah, next, changing the bulbs. Okay, the bulbs I've got are LED ones. Not sure if they're any good. They weren't expensive. These were about £10 for a pair, which I don't think is terrible. But they're LED replacement bulbs. Obviously H7, as I said a second ago. Hopefully these should be quite a nice bright white light, as opposed to the dull yellow that you get from halogen bulbs. I'm going to give them a bash if I don't like them, or they are not as good as I anticipated. I do have some regular H7 bulbs to replace them with. It just means I've got to swap them out, that's all. But yeah, you know, for a tenner I thought they'd be worth a shot. I'll stick these in, give them a bash, and let you know what I think. Obviously, to get the full benefit, and you know, to see what they're really like, I need to ride the bike at night, which I don't do a great deal anyway. But I will take it for a little blast some point, maybe not tonight, but maybe tomorrow night, and I'll report back and let you know how well they perform. Okay, as I said, this is just a holder. Separate the two, that's the bulb, that's junk, so we'll throw that away. You get the new bulb, and then you fit it into the holder, just like so. And then that is what you fit back into the bike. Okay, so let's get it fitted. Okay, so the biggest problem that some people will face when trying to get these bulbs back in is that they're trying to put them in the wrong orientation. Now, that is the opening for the bulb, and you can see the little square box on the right hand side where the little wire frame clips into to retain the bulb in place. But if you look at the 12 o'clock position in the opening, you'll see there's a little slot that isn't present anywhere else around the circumference of the hole. Now, that slot is for that. Okay, so that is the orientation that the bulb has got to be fitted. Put it in like that, and it will fall straight in, and then all you do is you close the wire across, and it will retain the bulb in place. So that's what we'll do now. Okay, so obviously there's not a great deal of room in here to be able to show you what's going on, but I've got the bulb at the 12 o'clock, that little lug at the 12 o'clock position. Okay, and she's in there just like that. Now all I've got to do is take across the little wire clip, and then hook it back on that box. But the making sure that the bulb doesn't move, because it will like to move, because obviously it's weighted towards the tail with that little adapter on it. Okay, so it's like that at the moment, and all I've got to do now is clip that wire in place behind that little silver box, and that is that bulb installed. And there you go. As you can see, the wire is now across, and that's the bulb installed. But before I go ahead and do the main beam one, just wanted to show you that I have put the rubber back on. Now I've just got to reconnect it, and that's that job done. Okay, side light bulbs. If you want to be changing your side light bulbs, these are really easy. All you have to do is look underneath the fairing, and you can see the back of them here and here. This is the back of the side light bulbs, and to change it, literally all you have to do is just give it a tug. Now, if you can make out where the bulb is actually fitted into, that little black housing that it's fitted into is actually just a rubber, like a rubber sleeve, and there's like a lip around it, which I'll show you right now. Just here, this little rubber lip is all that holds it into the headlight. That groove there fits here, and that's all that holds it in and keeps it weather tight. So to change it, you just pull this bulb out now, put a new one in, then you put it back in the hole and give it a little push, and I don't know if you heard that on the camera, but it makes a little click, and it really is that easy. Okay then, moving on to the main beam. Now the bulb holder for this is hidden behind this plastic. You can just about see the bottom of it there, but you can get into it. Well, you could, but it's really simple. You just need to move this piece of trim here, and I'll show you how to do that. It's really easy. This plastic plug here needs popping out, that bolt, and then this will come out. So let's let me grab some tools and we'll crack on. Okay, as I said, take this bolt out here, and this one here. All the way out. Okay, and these little clips here can be quite brittle. Now the aim of this is to pop the center out, which allows the clip out. This one's actually broken. It shouldn't look like that. There should be, in fact, let's see if the other ones, if that's what it should look like. But obviously this one's been broken at some point. It's past, so I'll get some replacements. But the idea is to pop the center out, which will release the main part of it. There you go, just like that. With it out, it just pops out, and that's basically, it's an expanding plug. With that pushed in, it stops this opening up and stops it coming out. So I'll get they're only cheap from the dealer. So okay, now what you've got to do here is pop this plastic out. Sounds a bit brutal, but it just pop out quite easily. And there's like there should be a little lug at the back here. There you go, just there. So it goes into that rubber, and then these clips here just clip underneath the dash, and that one goes behind where that little plastic rivet was. But as you can see, now that that's out, we've got full access to this. We've got better access to this now than we did to the dip beam one. So this will be a perfect way to demonstrate the way it should be on both headlights, to be perfectly honest. But with the added benefit of being able to see better. So pull the rubber off just like that, and there's the clip again. This one doesn't have the little box, it's got this little brass bit instead, but you push it in and up on this one and it will come open, and there's the bulb, just like that. Obviously I'm not going to change this bulb because there's nothing wrong with this one. These ones work perfectly okay. And again, you can see the little section at the 12 o'clock position where these slot into. So let's put that back in there. And there we go, it's as simple as that. That's how you reinstall the bulb. The rubber cover goes back on. Got to get it in the centre of the rubber cover around the bulb because the little lugs like to go inside. Just like that. And then plug it back in, and that's as hard as it is. It's also worth noting that this is where the little fuse box is for all of these things: fan, clock, stop, turn, horn, you know, all of this sort of good stuff. So if you ever need to know where the fuse box is for these items, this is where you'll find it. Okay, and then obviously we just need to put the cover on, but that's obviously the reverser removal, so I won't bore you to death with that. But anyway, guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you go and get on with your lives. I'm going to replace the dip beam on the other side of the bike, and thank you very much for tuning in and watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos from Kev Shed. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.